His buddy, he was a homeschool Queenslander. I spent time with him 7 years ago. Raised on a predominantly raw and predominantly vegan diet. He's doing well. He's an active kid, been climbing coconut trees almost every day. How many coconut trees have you climbed, you reckon? Thousands?
Yeah, couldn't count them.
Thousands. Alright, go for it, buddy.
You fell out of it.
I'm 19 years old. My name's Buddy Friend from Queensland, far north Queensland. And been raw vegan all my life. And never had any health problems or a tetanus shot in my life. No infection. Anyway, yeah. So, and I don't know what to say really, but...
Ask me if you've got any questions.
Any questions, anyone?
What about iron?
Iron? I eat a lot of greens for iron. So, my daily intake will be about... My daily intake will be at least 20 bananas before 9 o'clock. I'll drink it with one coconut worth of cream. So I shred the coconut out, squeeze the cream and mix it with the banana, and that aids digestion as well, as coconut's got a lot of lipase, which helps you digest everything you eat it with. Say you eat chickpeas, which is hard to digest, but if you eat them with coconut, they seem, they go down a lot better than without. But yeah, anyone got any questions, shoot away. Since I was about 8 years old, when I got enough strength to do it, I'm always really energetic. We grew up on a farm of about 200 acres. Mum and Dad used to buy a trampoline for every Christmas, so used to do gymnastics all the time on that. And got a lot of good life skills. I've never been in a classroom in my life. I was lucky enough to have the parents to homeschool me, so I didn't get influenced by any children or any other teachers saying that I might need eggs or milk or any of that stupid shit they give you, Any other questions? So my dad's, he changed his diet when he was around 20. He started studying meat inspector's course, and they taught him about adrenaline and stress hormone. When you kill an animal, that freaks out, and your defense mechanism is adrenaline, which cuts out your immune system and lets you in on infection. So if you cut your arm, like see that scar there on my arm, did that when I was 4 years old. I was running down the stairs and tripped on the last step with a big glass jar, and my arm was literally cut to the bone halfway around. I didn't go to hospital or get a tetanus shot. I didn't even get a stitch, and no infection without animal products. That's what the hospitals, they feed you animals, so you go to the hospital sick. So yeah, any other questions? Sorry, this is my first time talking, might be a bit. Any other questions? Fat. So I start my day with bananas, fruit, any kind of fruit really. Then after lunch I might crave something like a salad. I don't eat any cooked food at all. So I usually make a coconut salad. Always, I eat around 2 coconuts a day with a quarter pound of beef, equal protein in each. So I'm eating around a kilo of digestible protein each day. So yeah, I get a lot of strength, muscle building. You don't lack anything if you're on coconuts all the time. What's that? I never do any training. I've never been to a gym in my life. I only do productive work like hoe a garden to make, get your own greens, organic garden. Or my parents do the coconut markets every Sunday, which is at Port Douglas in Cairns, just above Cairns. And it's my job to peel the coconuts every week. I peel 400 to 500 on Saturday and then all day Sunday. So I don't do training, but I do productive work to, I've never had a blood test or B12 shot in my life, but I'm thinking of doing it soon. But I don't feel energy deficient or anything like that. But just first day I came to the festival, I cut my finger to the bone there, which was really deep. It was spurting blood for like about 20 minutes. I didn't put a band-aid on it or cover it up, and 2 days later I went swimming in the waterfalls there. It's really dirty water. People were freaking out, saying, you might get some sort of infection in that dirty water, but me myself, I'm not worried at all. Without that adrenaline knocking my immune system out, I'm fully capable of healing myself without a hospital.
What were you just saying about when eating chickpeas and coconut helps it digest better? Why is that?
So a lot of people say chickpeas they don't digest if you eat them raw, but if you eat it with coconut, it has a digestive enzyme called lipase, which aids any digestion. So if you got a food that's hard to digest and you combine it with coconut, which usually it combines with any food at all, you got really good digestion eating everything raw. Any other questions? Yeah, so last year I had a motorbike accident. I've been pretty wild child as I didn't go to school, and yeah, I've had motorbike ever since I was 9 years old. I used to play the tin whistle at the Port Douglas markets in front of the coconut store, make up to $300 a day, as my dad was in the band before I was born, and he taught me all the tunes. I know about 70 off the top of my head. I can do the scales 30 times on one breath, so I used to get up to $300 a day as an 8-year-old or 7-year-old even, you know, up to 15. So that's how I was buying all my motorbikes. They couldn't stop me as, you know, I have my own money. When I was 9, I bought my own $1,200 motorbike, and then, yeah, I was addicted to that. No one could stop me really, but yeah, I had a motorbike accident doing motocross. I overshot a jump and landed flat, twisted my knee down and inwards, and I popped ligaments and a blood vessel, and I was on crutches for 6 months for that. And yeah, I might need surgery, but they are coming good. I can still climb coconut trees. It uses a different ligament. But yeah, I'm healthy otherwise. I've only been to the hospital twice in my life. When I was 12, I crashed my motorbike, snapped my arm clean, and I had the bone sticking out, so they had to realign that. But they told me that I had to wait at least 12 weeks before I can take the cast off. And then I went back for an x-ray after 8 weeks, and the bone was, they were surprised, and it was already healed. And they took the cast off at 8 weeks instead of 12. So they were extremely surprised in healing. And then the other time I went, I was 17 years old, I was working on a pumpkin farm, lifting crates onto a truck, and the guy opposite me dropped his side and it cut the top of my finger off clean, shattered my bone in 3 spots, and my finger's on the ground. And yeah, I raced the hospital half an hour. They told me it wouldn't be accepted if they sewed it back on, but I said do it anyway. And yeah, it accepted it, and I didn't get any infection. They were freaking out, asking me when I had my last tetanus shot. I told them I've had it last week, so don't give it to me, you know. And yeah, I straight out lied to them, to their face. I didn't take any antibiotics whatsoever, and my finger healed itself. I got full sense, and yeah. So in any injury you come into, if you're on this sort of diet, you're definitely a lot better off, as you don't need any hospital, you know, only if you break your bone to the point where it's out of place. Well, once my dad learnt the adrenaline, he was doing a meat inspector's course, right? So he was about my age when he started this. He was a big meat eater before then, and he's in the meat inspector's course, and they taught him about how adrenaline knocks out your immune system, and you have to have a sealing barrier between the animals getting killed and the ones waiting to be killed. As the ones waiting to be killed, if they smell the scent of the killing, they freak out to the point where the meat's hard and it's not edible, you know. So they have to have that sealing to restrict the adrenaline from going into the meat. But then they did another test. They hooked a monitor up to the pituitary gland on the animal, and they shot its head off while it wasn't looking at them, just to see if there's any adrenaline going to be into the meat, you know, if it's not thinking it's going to die before it dies. And yes, every animal that you kill, even if you cut its head off when it's happy, it's going to have this adrenaline, because the defense mechanism in every animal that moves, and it's going to knock your immune system out when you eat it. So yeah, after he learnt that, he completely gave up meat and met my mother, which was a very sick child all her life, you know, growing up in Sydney, getting fed all this shit. She also hated meat, but she didn't know how to change, you know. When they were united though, they changed completely, and they had 7 children. I'm one of 7. That's my sister out the back there, Anita friend. She's just like me as well, very healthy and fit, and The only one of our siblings that changed is the oldest, which was Bonnie. She had a irukandji sting when she was about 18, 19, and changed her brain somehow. Changed her brain formation, and yeah, she's the only one of our family that's gone back to the diet, and she's gone fat fat and ugly, and I can hardly talk to her the way she's changed. But I can't blame it at all, because the irukandji, before then she was the nicest raw vegan and animal loving person. After that though, she's seemed to have changed in the brain, gone a bit crazy, some will say. So my mother did a course for all her children so she could homeschool them. Therefore we didn't get influenced by any other teachers or other children at lunchtime saying that, oh, why don't you eat this and this and this and the other shit that they'll give you and might cause you to change. So they already thought of that, and they did a course to do homeschooling, which yeah, I did all my life. I've never been to a classroom. She sent some of the children to school when they were older and smart enough to know what's right, you know. So yeah.
What do you think about the game?
Yeah, that was a really good festival. I had a lot of fun there. A few nice people I met there. Yeah, I only spent one day there as I was working that whole week, but the day I spent was really good. Yeah, I came here just to meet the group of people that sit in front of me into similar things. I don't have many friends at home. Most of them say I'm crazy. You know, why you eat meat, you're missing out on the best food in the world. It just absolutely disgusts me in every way. Most people have... what's that?
What does your work look like? Like, yeah, opening coconuts?
My work?
Your work.
So, as growing up at home every day, my dad was partly school and partly mechanics training. He bought me a car when I was 5 years old that was overheated, and I did everything, rebuilt the motor as a school project. So when I was 10 years old, I had a brand new motor and car and a full knowledge of how to fix everything on the car. Therefore now I work as a mechanic for myself. I'm my own boss. I buy cars, the cheap, $200-300, and do the mechanical, whatever's wrong with it, register it, and then resell it for $4 or $5 grand. I know exactly what I'm buying, and always resell it, always been successful. Early this year though, I bought a $2,000 four-wheel drive that I was going to hopefully resell for $8 grand. I went out for the weekend, parked it under a big tree, and got home and it was folded in half with the tree on top of it. And that was the biggest money loss I've ever made, not because I misjudged of how it was before I bought it though.
So you taught yourself how to do it? No one else?
Well, my father as well. As I was starting off reading, I didn't really get into the normal curriculum as I was really bored of it. So Dad saw that and took it as an opportunity, as I was really into mechanics. So he bought me a workshop manual for the car I was rebuilding, and I read step by step as I rebuilt the motor, and helped me learn to read and learn the mechanical side of it as well. So I'm really set for life for that as well. So I work on motorbikes, cars, buses, you name it. Yeah, after this talk I'm thinking of running up this coconut tree. I brought a piece of steel just earlier in the steel shop in the square there. I'm going to peel a few people a coconut, or how many's up there, I'm not sure, but yeah, I'll get them for us and peel them. I can peel a coconut in around 7 seconds, as I've been peeling for how many a week, so I'm getting really good at it now.
Alright, thanks buddy.
Thanks.
Geil. With the knife in the mouth.